the ultimate habit tracker. Whether you'd like to build new habits from scratch so they can be consistent, or you'd like to improve your habits so that your new habit tracker transforms from something like this into this, whereby your new habit tracker contains more habits with greater consistency, you've clicked on the perfect video. First of all, why do you need a habit tracker? Well, the purpose of a habit tracker is simply to track habits, so you can accurately measure and track progress, good or bad, with efficient accountability, so you can ultimately make adequate alterations to bring round that positive change and improvement. Why use this, my habit tracker, and not someone else's like James Clear's? Well, I've been using habit trackers for almost a year now, and after trial and error, changing things up on each one, I believe I've made a very, very good one. Here's a sneak peek of the current one I'm using, and I don't think I'm going to make any changes in the near future. If you can critique me, go ahead. I'd love to improve it, but currently at the current state, it is looking very, very concise, very beautiful. So firstly, the time period that you'll be using on each page to track your habits will be 4 weeks, 28 days. 4 weeks to a page, 28 days to a page, almost a month. By the way, 1 day takes up 1 line. 4 weeks is the golden amount of time you should be tracking your habits for. You should be tracking your habits in a single go before renewing your habit tracker. Because not only can you fit 28 days or 28 lines easily on the common paper size A4, which means that you can make this habit tracker from home, from your own home. 28 days allows for the most organized and consistent accountability. What you're going to do is you're going to choose an accountability day. An accountability day is the day after the last date on your habit tracker. The day after the last date. And this is where you're going to look over your month, your previous month. You're going to evaluate and comment on how you can improve for the next month, for the next 28 days, which continue straight after. For example, or also bear in mind that you can manipulate the habit tracker to choose whatever day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for your accountability day. You can choose whatever. So I chose my accountability day to be Sunday because it's my most free and flexible day. I would choose your accountability day upon those same factors too, because I would spend about an hour at least. On evaluating, commenting, journaling on how I can attack the next month with trying to strive for as much progress. How do I make it so that Sunday is the day after the last date? Well, this is the reason why this method is so good, the 28 days. You want the day after the last date to be the same as your accountability day. So for example, with this habit tracker I have on my wall, the first date you see on that one is the 17th of July. That is a Sunday. The day after the last date, which is the 13th is the last day. The 13th is the last date, and the day after that is the 14th of August. That is a Sunday too. So easy does it. And yeah, that 4 weeks just allows a good period of time, a good 4 weeks. So it's nice and organized, 4 weeks to just try and get out those habits and just try your hardest to be consistent with them. 31 days isn't, like, if you were doing it monthly, you can see January, February, March, April, May. But it's not really a consistent sort of accountability schedule day. So just 28 days is the best way to do it. Because yeah, it's just very consistent. 4 weeks every single time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you use that 1 hour. Don't think, 1 hour, that's so long. That's why you choose a free and flexible day. 1 hour can be what divides that person who's going to improve for the next month and the person who doesn't. Because that 1 hour can be such a crucial amount of deep work. It's going to get things right in your mind, might have to put extra priorities on certain habits so you can really like achieve your goals. Only a couple of reasons as to why I believe this habit tracker, this daily habit tracker, is the best and most concise. Secondly, you should use this habit tracker because of the concise measures. On your accountability day, where you're going to tally up a score for the total and the highest streak for each habit and write the number on the bottom. I'm going to put a video and you're going to be able to see what this would look like. Now, the second measure is that each day you'll be filling out on the far right column, just the daily points, the daily ticks. Now, I like to do this straight after my morning routine, where I fill out the grid for the previous morning, the morning just passed, and the previous day. And you can see on the habit tracker a red line that separates the morning routine from the other daily habits that I do throughout the day. And you can do the same. It just gives a nice structure in your day. Morning routine done. It also gives a bit of like pressure that you must do the habits you must do the habits before you can tick it off. And if you don't, you may not tick it off and you might lose progress, you might lose track. And obviously that's not good. So yeah, I would recommend doing that too, that red line. That's very good. Separate morning routine from other habits. The third measure is that you're going to calculate a mean average of your daily points scored and your total points scored for your habits. Now this one's a bit tricky, so I'm going to put a video definitely. But this example that you're seeing right here, right here, I'm going to put this one on the screen, and what it's showing is 10.5 a day I got. 10.5 a day. That's what I got out of 14. That was the average, 10.5. Now I know 10.5. It's going to be a greater reason. It's more knowledge. Greater reason as to why the next 28 days, as to why I should be pushing harder to try and get 10.6, 11, 12, or 14 out of 14. All right? And if you can see after a few months, after a few 4 weeks, that you're not really going up, you must have a look and see what is actually going on. Am I trying hard enough? Ask yourself. Is my routine actually realistic? Is it really effective, useful in comparison to the habits I'm trying to achieve? And on the bottom, you're gonna get, I got 24 sort of average total per habit that was 32 days. But no, yeah, that was 32 days, but yeah, 14 habits here in this habit tracker. This one is different to that one, the one I'm using now. So I can go into the next month. Can I get 25 per habit? And it builds that sort of uniform, sort of in your mind, you're like, I want uniform consistency across the habits. I don't want one habit to be like this and then one habit to be here, right? So now the fourth measure, the last form of accountability, and you got to be careful here because you need to have completed a home habit tracker before you can do this one. And it's got to be identical to this method, to my method, the one that you'll be using. And if you're just starting out, you can take notes on this point and use this for when you've completed your second habit tracker using my method. So now here, you might have someone clicking off the video if you haven't already. No, someone weak with an excuse might want to click off the video. Why would you want to click off the video? This video may be a bit longer, all right, but it may be long, it may be boring stuff. Well, I think it's very fun because accountability, habits, organization. Trust me when I say this. You'll be proud of yourself when you do this habit tracker. You may not like writing all these dates down. It doesn't take long, bro. Come on. Where's your effort? Where's your endurance? You're stronger than that, man. You'll be proud. Trust me, you'll be proud when you start to see growth with the habit tracker. The growth is visual. You can see 10.5, I've got it here. Next month, imagine I've got 11. I'll be off to the moon. Over the moon. So this fourth point is what you're going to want to do. You're going to grab a green and red pen, And I use these colors because they indicate growth and decline respectively. And you're going to write next to the score in the total and the highest streak rows. You're going to add a green upwards arrow if the score has increased compared to the previous 28 days. You're going to add a downwards red tick if the score has decreased. A red downwards arrow. Let me say this again. A green upwards arrow if the score has increased. A red downwards arrow if the score has decreased. A green tick if you've maintained the maximum score. So 28. So if I got 28 last month for ice cold showers and I get 28 this month, that habit tracker, the second one, gets that green tick. And that is nice to write because that is peak consistency. And you're going to add a flat red horizontal red line if you maintained that score, but it was any score but the maximum. This is so fantastic, these colors, because they give a clear visual representation of how well you're doing, and that can really help with some of you. I know someone's watching this, they know they're a visual learner, and it can maybe if you're doing bad, it can shock you. You can see the realistic side of things. Maybe it's more realistic, more transparent, and ideally we should be seeing more green than red over time at least. And to be honest, we shouldn't be seeing any red at all, but that's the end goal, so that's what we should be striving for. Last few things if you didn't know. Now, you've got your grid, you've drawn it out maybe. Of course, we're going to try, me and Tim, we're going to try put out something through a link, a template of this, and you can personalize it easily. But go ahead, make your authentic version now, because it's better to start now than later. Better to start sooner than later. And you know this, man. If you didn't know, tick if you've done the habit, cross if you haven't. And just a reminder, be strict with yourself. Don't be lenient. Discipline is only built if you're strict. Therefore, habits are only going to build and grow with consistency if you're strict. All right? I'm still working on it. But both of us, when we're going to be more strict with ourselves, we're going to see that growth. So with those descriptions and explanations, they're just all reasons as to why you should be using this habit tracker. Look at it. It's simple. You can't really see that. I mean, it's simple. It's it's concise. It's got all these accurate, quantifiable measures to see how you're doing. The structure is there. 28 days, accountability day. And stick to it. See how you're doing. Maybe comment down after 28 days, after using this habit tracker, after going for it, how you found it. Maybe add some comments as to how I could improve. I would really appreciate that. And just, have a go at it. Have fun. This will really change your life, this habit tracker. And while you're grinding those habits, remember to accept, adapt, and overcome.